Oh. Hello guys and welcome back to Car Obsession. So as you have seen from the title of the video, I want to discuss Mad Max, my Mark II Mazda MX-5. Now as you may know, a lot of work was done on him last year, quite a lot of money was put into him, and once I got the car back, I had plans to keep him for, I don't know, 1 or 2 years, do a few track days, do a few drift days, have my fun and then sell him on. However, things have kind of changed. So, in a nutshell, Patsy, my wife, if you don't know her, she's quite a big part of the channel and of course my life. But yeah, Patsy and I have decided to sell the car. And the reason for that, sorry, this chair doesn't feel right. The reason for that is because as much as I did intend to do drifting with the car, I wanted to do more track days than I did drifting. Now, in case you don't know, the car has got a welded diff, which is great for drifting, but for track days, not so much. Now, to be fair, when the tarmac is dry, you don't really notice the car has got a welded diff. You get a bit more understeer, and of course when you go to park it, it's a bit of a faff, but apart from that, you wouldn't really notice. But the moment it gets a bit damp or a bit greasy or wet, that is a different scenario altogether. I did plan to fit an LSD, but that's more money. Now, of course, you can pick them up quite cheap, but sometimes you do need to get lucky. On looking on eBay, the kind of going rate for a limited slip diff is around £400. Now that's fine. However, because Mad Max is a 1.6 litre, and the limited slip diff would come from a 1.8 litre. Not only would I need the LSD, but I would also need the prop shaft and the drive shafts from a 1.8 car to make the LSD compatible. So rough price, you're looking at £700. Then I'd have to pay someone to fit it. Yes, I could ask one of my colleagues to do it and they'd probably charge me next to nothing, but it's money that I sort of don't have, to be honest. It's money I don't really want to put into the car because so much money has been put into the car as it is. Just a quick one actually, I don't want to divert too much. I did actually want to film this video in the car driving, but it's dark outside, it's cold and it's wet, and by the time I faff around putting GoPros up, I could have filmed the video in here anyway, which is why I'm in here. It's lovely and warm and dry. But yeah, Mad Max is now up for sale, and that kind of frustrates me a little bit because it kind of feels like I've given up, but at the same time I need something that is going to be more track friendly, and it's frustrating as well because I don't want to come across as one of those YouTubers who buys a car and then keeps it for like 5 seconds and sells it on. That is not the type of YouTuber I want to be. As much as it's great to have a new car and have different experiences, ideally I want to have my cars longer than, let's see, I bought them in September, I think, so it's about 4 or 5 months. That's not very long at all, is it? It's not even half a year. So I did intend to keep him for longer, but circumstances change, and really what Patsy and I have thought would potentially be a better idea is to sell him, and then with the money we get for him, to go out and buy another track car and then keep the change. Now ideally I don't really want to take anything less than 2,500 for Mad Max. And even that, in my eyes, is a bit of a bargain. Some of you may think, hang on, it's an old MX-5, you can pick them up for pennies. Yes, that's right, But if you think about it, the amount of work that's gone into the car recently, a replacement engine, timing belt, water pump, thermostat, alternator belt, spark plugs, new oil, of course, for the engine. You've got HSD monopro coilovers. Those coilovers alone are worth £800. You've got a GC Fabrications roll bar in there. A new clutch has been put in. You've got brand new Michelin Pilot Sport 3 tyres on each corner. So a lot of money has been put into the car. Therefore, I really don't want to let him go for that much. Ideally, in an ideal world, I'd love to take £3,000 for him. But I know that that's probably unrealistic. I think a lot of people will look at that and go, okay, so it's 1998, 1.6 Mazda MX-5, and he wants £3,000 for it. Is he off his head? Now, obviously, if the car was turbocharged or supercharged, that would be a different kind of scenario, because £3,000 for a turbocharged or supercharged MX-5, that's pretty good going. But of course, the engine itself is standard. There is a K&N air filter, but let's face it, it's not really adding that much power to the car. So yeah, that's it really. I don't want to waffle on for too long. I've been talking for about 6 minutes, well, almost 7 minutes. So yeah, I don't want to drag this out for too long. I'm sure some of you will be disappointed about this news. Trust me, I am as well. But I'm really doing what I believe makes sense. If I can get a replacement car and get a bit of money back, obviously the amount of money Patsy and I have spent on the car, no matter how much we sell him for, we're going to make a loss. Well, if we sold him for X amount, then we would get our money back. But I don't really want to talk too much about the finances of it. But what I will say is the amount of money we've put into the car is more than what we paid for the car. I think that gives you a good idea of how much. Well, you probably don't know how much we bought the car for. So we bought the car for, it was a really random amount. I think it was £1,980. So yeah, that's why really I don't want to let him go for any less than 2,500. So in regard to what comes next, I don't know. We need to find a replacement, and a part of me thinks, actually, is it worth it? Track days can be quite expensive, and you've got the track day. On top of that, you've got maintenance, services, brakes, tyres, all that kind of thing. And a part of me thinks, is that an expense I can keep doing for the next year or so, or however long I want to do track days? And I look at my finances and think, I probably could, but it would make money a bit tight, to be honest. So yeah, Mad Max might be replaced, but at the same time, he might not. So yeah, I know, like I say, this will be a disappointment to some of you, because I know some of you wanted to see more track action from Mad Max and more, well, not more, some drift action this year, and so did I. I really had the year planned out, well, relatively planned out, that I would do a few track days and do a few drift days. But like I say, the world of diff just makes track days a little bit too tricky. Don't get me wrong, it is doable. So I haven't sold him, well, I haven't advertised him as a track car, because I think that would be quite unfair, because, how can I sell it as a track car when I'm getting rid of it because I can't use it as a track car? You know what I mean? So I'm advertising him as a drift car. But yeah, back to what was going on. I've kind of diverted a bit. I digressed. It's all good and well booking a track day, and if the track day is dry, great. I'm sure the welded diff wouldn't be too much of an issue. However, this is the UK. Even in summer, trying to book a track day and guarantee it'll be dry on the day it's literally a guessing game. So yeah, there's no point paying for a track day, turning up and it's absolutely peeing it down, and thinking, well, this is great, I'm going to end up each corner, I'm going to be sideways, I'm going to be looking out my side window as opposed to the windscreen. So yeah, how long have I been? 10 minutes. Okay, I should really start wrapping things up. Otherwise, it's going to get boring very quickly if it hasn't done already. So yeah, that's it. He's up for sale. He's on Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, eBay, Auto Trader, think there might be one more place he's advertised, but I've kind of advertised him on as many piston heads, that's the other one, piston heads. So if you are interested, please drop me a message, or if you know someone that's interested, please pass on the details. I will put the link to each advert in the video description below. Again, I'm really sorry to do this to you guys, because it just feels like, it kind of feels like I've let you down, and it feels like I've just given up on the whole thing. But I'm doing what I believe in my mind feels right. So yeah, hopefully I can get a car with more power as well, because as much as it's, he's a light car, I must admit, on track, the 1.6 litre engine does feel a little bit, what's the word, gutless, and it does feel a little bit asthmatic, especially on Snetterton when you've got two great long straights. The car just feels really slow compared to everything else on the track. But yeah, anyway, I'm meant to be wrapping up. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do stick by me. I will try and fill the void, I suppose, with something else if I can. But yeah, as always, guys, if you've enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and ring my bell so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession. Oh, that was quite emotional.